talk, everybody listen. Say hate cookie. Latest gossip, television shows, yeah, you know I'm spilling. Random documents, facts don't lie. Tune in, drop it in the chat, don't be shy. And let's talk about it. Welcome to Tater Tot Lane, come ride with me. Hot tea, real talk, yeah, that's the key. So tune in, let's talk about it.
Child, we are back with some audio. And I gotta talk about a little bit about this audio and things like that. That's been popping up around in the streets. Okay. Please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so you know every time your girl upload a new video. Share this mo. Okay, share this mo. Period. Hype this mo up. Okay. And hype it. It's like, no, everything on the channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for not entertainment purposes only. Okay, this is not entertaining. So, y'all know we've been doing the Nolan Wells, information that's going on and trying to get to the bottom of what happened to this young man that had his whole future and life ahead of him that was cut short by, it seems like, some people that he considered friends. So let's get into the audio pieces of it. What do they call him? Officer Ruckus. I did a reviews on his interview with Warren. I haven't did Tristan's yet because I kind of feel bad for him. I've heard a couple of things about the interview with Tristan, and I'm hesitant in even watching it because Officer Ruckus is a fucking mess. Okay. And I don't like him at all. Okay. So let me hit y'all with this. What in the world is going on? Child? Because this can't be right. Here we go with the bullshit. Y'all, here we go with the bullshit. All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of this audio from this dispatch call to Cito, I believe. And before I even get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about the audio and like where it kind of like came from. It came from Chronicle Speaks. And she's a huge YouTuber. And from what I understand and what I see of her, she puts out authentic information and things like that. So if the information is faulty or something like that, I don't believe she made the information, like she didn't make it up. If it was faulty, I believe she received it faulty, which is, to me, is no fault of her own. I don't think that she's in this to put out any false information. I've never seen her put out any false information. When she shares stories, the stories are real stories and the information is real, and she usually authenticates her information just like she did. She received this information directly from Cito's website. What she did do was separate some of the audio, which is what a couple of people are doing. So I think the information is authentic. So I don't know, what's this thing about people maybe trying to discredit her. I don't think that's right. And another thing about it is really like, I don't think it's right for, in this case like this, is for the content creators that's trying to get this information out so that this young man and his family could get justice. It won't bring Nolan back, but at least his family will have peace of knowing what happened in his last moments, of his life. And they deserve that. They deserve, if it was taken shortly, by whatever reason or why it was, that we get answers for it, particularly them. They want answers for it, so they can have some type of closure to this situation. Like, we're not, a lot of us are not in this situation. Some are in this situation and have been in this situation. And a lot of people, far too many, never receive closure about what happened to their loved ones. But this is an opportunity where we're looking at things And it's not adding up. The things are not adding up, and people got questions, and we want to just know why. Like, it's not about accusing people of things or anything like that, but when you do shit that make you look guilty, if you walk like a duck and quack like a fucking duck and people calling you a duck, I mean, it is what the fuck it is. So let's get into her audio. I want to share my banner for fair use. Okay. While I pull up this audio, and this is also from Chronicle Speaks, and then I'm going to play a portion maybe of TMZ's if we have a little time, but we shall see. Let's see here. Switch my accounts. Go to my history and let me pull up Chronicle Speaks. Here we are. One second. This fly is getting on my everlasting nerves, and I cannot wait to zap it. Okay, now let's get to this video. Fair use, fair use. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let's see how that does.
Once again, this recording is publicly available online. Although the regular hold music is playing, you can still hear what appears to be a frantic situation unfolding in the background. Nothing has been added to the recording. Now on to new developments. Fortunately, the call was recorded in stereo, meaning the dispatcher's voice plays through one channel while the young man on the boat can be heard through the other channel. I simply muted the dispatcher's channel, allowing us to focus more clearly on the background conversation. This audio works best if you use headphones.
Also, before we actually get into the audio again, and most of the people that talk about the audio, like some people hear different things differently. That's just a person's interpretation. But I'm quite sure the FBI, since they're supposed to be involved in this case, can dissect this information here and see what was being said and things like that. So, and another thing is some people were saying about why would they be talking on the audio while the dispatcher, while the guy is on the phone? Why would they be talking actively on the audio or whatever the case may be, in the background when they knew that he was on the call? But the thing is that the call starts recording before the operator picks up. It records when you make the call, even while you're on hold. And a lot of call centers, you can hear those type of things. Like before the person even picks up the phone, you can hear the person that's calling in. You can hear them, talking, sometimes they be, watching TV. You can hear their TV. You can hear them saying things to their kids and things like that. And that's also too for like 911 operators. Your call starts recording when you finish that last one. When it's not ringing, the call is started. That's when the call is being recorded. So sometimes you're on hold with 911 and the call does not, the call is still recording while you're on hold. And that's another way that they catch a lot of criminals too, when they are saying things before the operator answers, because they don't think that they're being recorded. But you are being recorded. Just for people to know, you are being recorded. Usually as soon as you call, anytime you call someplace and they say like these conversations could be recorded, but call purposes, monitoring and all that type of things, quality assurance, that usually means that you're being recorded. When that phone stops ringing, the recording starts. Okay, so it looks like that's the same thing for this CTO company as well. Okay, so let's get into this.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Oh, shut the fuck up! What'd you say? Hey. It's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down there. I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that. I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off. Reach me at 2. Yeah, everybody talks to it. What? No, we do not need that.
So this is when she's saying, like, where do you guys need the Coast Guard? So that's the main piece that I wanted you all to hear of the call, because this is like concerning for me, because this is what it's not so much to, because let's say if the stuff that they're saying in the background is not what they're actually saying or what we think they're saying or what she's playing on the screen that closed captions or what is being said in the background and things like that. Let's say that's not the case, okay? Because in the interview with Warren, he said they were on the west tip of Horn Island. In this recording, he told her in the beginning that he was on the west tip of Horn Island. So if you were on the west tip of Horn Island, then it wouldn't be a problem for you to send her the coordinates, or if you didn't have them right on hand, for her to send you a text. Mind you, they're saying the boat is sinking. The boat is actively sinking, right? So even with them saying in the Officer Tatum video, that interview, Warren saying that the boat started taking on water because too many people was getting on and off the boat. I think he said that they were like in the third row. So were people getting on and off the boat, jumping off the boat, going swimming up to the island, then swimming back and getting on the boat like that. Because I don't think they were close enough to, just be getting off the boat and just go right on land or whatever the case may be. But I digress. But when him saying that, he said in the interview that the west tip is more like, the party side, and then the east tip of the east side is more of the relaxed side, where people, is not playing music and shit like that, right? So they said they were leaving because the boat started taking on water. Now, if I'm correct, I wouldn't want to gather up people to get on a sinking ass fucking boat. Why y'all couldn't just stay on the island, call for help, and then have them come and do whatever to the build or tow the boat? That's what I want to know. Why would you take the boat out and then call for help? Because where they show, when I show you guys the TMZ video, where they're showing that they're at in the part of the water, it doesn't look like a lot of people is around them. So they done went out some. So what were you trying to go while the boat was sinking? And then she asked him, did he want to get the Coast Guard? He said, no, we don't need the Coast Guard. But when Warren said in his interview with Officer Ruckus that he told Nolan's mom not to worry, that he was going to call the Coast Guard. Why would the Coast Guard even be a thing for you to call when you don't know if he's in the water? The Coast Guard handle situations going on in the water for rescues. And at this point, the last time you seen him, he was on land at 3:00. So why would you just say, I'm going to call the Coast Guard? Don't worry. Furthermore, you want to call the Coast Guard for Nolan that's missing while he was on land, but you're not going. You told the dispatcher y'all didn't need the Coast Guard when y'all was actively fucking sinking. Because again, what I was going to explain is that the stuff, I believe some of the stuff that they were saying on the audio. I do believe some of it, might be it's left up to your interpretation, but it's concerning what I don't hear. You don't hear people in the back saying, tell them to hurry the fuck up. We sinking, we going down. They not scared that they going down because they said the water can go from 3 feet to 17 feet to 30 feet. So they're not saying, fuck all them questions, get somebody here, because that's what happens when you're usually in distress and the operators are asking you all of these questions, even though they need to know the answers to these questions. You get irritated because you need fucking help now. And usually you're getting snippy with them about sending some motherfucking body, not just getting smart because you don't know what a fucking adult is. An adult is a person 18 or older. And sometimes the law consider an adult sometime even up to 13 years old when they want to charge them with a crime. So you don't hear none of that. It's no panic about this fucking boat actually sinking. Is my fucking concern. Why didn't you want the Coast Guard? Why did your grandfather, or why did Wyatt's grandfather instantly call back and say they don't need help? If the situation changed, I'll call you. While he's on the phone with the dispatcher, it looks like the grandfather was actively, or whoever was on the phone with the dispatcher, the grandfather was actively talking to the captain of Cito. Why would you tell somebody to call Cito and then call Cito and tell them they don't need no help? If that call wasn't just to give an alibi or to fake like y'all had problems on the boat. Again, too, all those people were out there. So wouldn't y'all like ask them for some help dumping the water? Since most of the people that out there that own boats and shit like that, they might have known what to do with the bill real quick to get it done. And from what the captain was saying before he really told the girl about them needing help, he basically was like, shit, this the 4th of July, this Horn Island, we ain't got the time of apparatus to be doing no free tolls. So I guess he was gonna let them sink. Shit. So that's a part that I'm concerned about, and their urgency or lack thereof of not sending somebody out. Do you want me to send the marshals out? He like, no, we don't need them. Shit, we need every motherfucking body. We going down. Shit. Send Captain Hook, any motherfucking body that you can scrape up to come up over this moat. Because we sinking. So it doesn't make any sense. And it really sound like they were saying Nolan. And this is another thing too, in the Officer Tatum interview with Warren, is like I was saying about him talking about that East Coast and West Coast of the sides of the island. Now, again, I think everything that they say is for a reason. Because when he was saying that, it was no reason for him to talk about the east side of the island. Y'all, if y'all wasn't over there, what the fuck you telling us what going on? We don't give a fuck. And their point was saying how many people was around there. So many people was around there and all this, on their boats having fun because they was on the west side okay, with a party gets live, right? And when the lady asked them what's the coordinates, he didn't know. He didn't even know where the water was, saying they sinking. Shit, the water up to my motherfucking kneecaps, bitch. Get somebody here. And she said, I can send you a text message. And he said no. So I was watching Tisa Tales, and she made a good point. Like, he was waiting on the text for the coordinates for the west tip. Because again, if not, you're sinking. So hell, whatever you got to do to get somebody to us, do it. Send me the text right now so I can get you the coordinates, send you something back, get the coordinates, and then get a motherfucker over here. Now, stat, expeditiously. I think they were on that east coast of it. I think they were on the east side of the island, where it's not that many people over there. Because mind you, they all 18 and shit underage drinking. Too, as well. And one of the other friends already came out at the beginning of this whole situation and said they do the okay. So I don't understand why he wouldn't want her to send him a text so she can get the coordinates of where he was exactly. Because I believe they were on that east part. And that could also be why people didn't see what they did or what happened to Nolan, because it might have not been that many people out there on that side. Like it was so packed and everything over on the west side. They probably like, shit, let's take our party on the east side. And, you know, party on up. Okay? Because it do seem like he was waiting on whoever was, you know, to send them coordinates from the West Point. Probably that grandfather. So that he can give it to the dispatcher. That's just my opinion. Okay? So I just wanted to bring those little points up right here. And let me share these videos with about Officer Ruckus. This one is not Officer Ruckus. This is DJ Academic, and he's, I guess, then threw his hat in the ring. So let's see what he has to say.
Or it's dead. It could be it's dead. Remember, they're panicking over the boat, so it kind of could make sense for them to be talking about the boat. You know, also something was malfunctioned. It's supposedly a pump to pump water off of the boat, right? So it looks like there's water that is somehow gotten into the boat, or like, you know, the ground of the boat. In order to not sink, there usually is a pump that works, that will just pump it over. But if the pump is dead, and that's why we got to remember terminology now.
Y'all pay attention to his eyes. And when I play Officer Ruckus's video, I want you guys to also pay attention to his eyes. Let me make this part a little bigger so you can see his eyes.
Like, would it be normal to say, hey, it's dead in terms of the pump is dead, or maybe referring to the boat itself? Maybe that's what they were talking about. But
why would they be saying that when they said that the pump was dead before, like the pump wasn't working before they even got on the boat to get rescued? Which, again, it doesn't make sense that you will load people up on the boat that was sinking or that wasn't releasing the water off.
I think this is what they believe malfunction. That last he's dead or it's dead, it could be it's dead. Remember, they're panicking over the boat, so it kind of could.
but they weren't panicking over the boat. They weren't saying shit like, oh my God, we got to get the fuck off of here. Come on, tell them to hurry up. How long did they say? Like, nobody's saying things like that where you was that what if you were on a sinking boat, you would be saying, like, watch that. What's the thing? I think it's called Shipwreck on Netflix. Watch that and you'll see what people is actually doing and saying and shit like that on a boat that's actually fucking sinking.
Makes sense for them to be talking about the boat. You know, also something was malfunctioning. It's supposedly a pump to pump water off of the boat, right? So it looks like there's water that is somehow gotten into the boat or like, you know, the ground of the boat. In order to not sink, there usually is a pump that works that will just pump it over. But if the pump is dead, and that's why we got to remember terminology now, like would it be normal to say, hey, it's dead in terms of the pump is dead, or maybe you're referring to the boat itself? Maybe that's what they were talking.
Shut the fuck up. So you see in the comments, look at them. Shut your ass up, child. So like people were saying, is the boat named Nolan? Because that's part of the audio that's kind of clear that they were saying Nolan. Okay. Did they also tell the boat to wake up? What the part about when they yell, get the fuck up? What about the part the boat was they referring to when they say get the fuck up? So would they be telling the pump the fuck up, or get the fuck up, or wake the fuck up? And somebody said he's Officer Tatum long lost son. I heard him say he's dead. Is he dead? Why would they be asking us the pump dead? Like they already know that there's something going on with the pump, whether it's dead or not. Whatever it is malfunctioning and is taking on water. Somebody said, why is everyone protecting these kids? Uncle Ruckus, who still listens to him? Child. They said, Nolan, don't twist what's going on or what they said. Exactly. So this person is saying what TMZ has reported. Law enforcement has confirmed they possess evidence showing Nolan Wells on the Horn Island after the boat departed. Law enforcement sources confirmed that to TMZ and Yahoo News. But law enforcement won't confirm with the parents and shit like that, but they confirm it with TMZ and Yahoo News that they have acquired evidence, including video and witness confirmation, placing Wells alive on the island after his friends left. GPS data indicates his friend's boat malfunctioned and departed the west tip of the Horn Island at 4:31. The specific video evidence and viral footage surrounding the time frame, including the following details: the final confirmed video sighting, the afternoon party video, 2:23 p.m. A widely circulated video obtained and published by TMZ shows that the last definitive images of a man matching Wells' description. The metadata fixes the time at 2:23 p.m., roughly 2 hours before the boat left. It depicts a black man on the back deck of a completely separate boat, not the vessel Wells arrived on, bending over for a drink, wearing swim trunks identical to the blue ones Wells wore that day. The shoreline confrontation video, 4:01 p.m., a viral video capturing an apparent altercation on the island shores, surfaced with a timestamp of 4:01 p.m., while internet commentators claim they enhanced the audio to hear Wells shouting about his phone. Investigators and participants in the video later clarified that the individual shouting was a different partygoer, not Wells. 4:30 p.m. timeline and evidence of life. The boat Wells arrived on officially left the shore at 4:30 p.m. after placing a frantic call, placing a failing bull pump Authorities have explicitly stated that their timeline places Wells alive on the island after 4:31 p.m. departure. This aligns with testimony from at least 2 independent witnesses who reported seeing him alive on the beach talking to a girl after his original group had already been towed away. Who towed them away? This miraculous identification of of sightings doesn't show that. Why is these people just not coming out? When Officer Ruckus did his interview with Warren, he mentioned in that interview that there was a sighting of Nolan around 6 to 6:30. He said it was one. It was one report of a sighting of seeing him from 6 to 6:30. And now they're saying there's 2 sightings of him from 6 to from around 6 o'clock or whatever on the island. But what's concerning to me about that is, for one, like the time frame that it has gone. Now, it's been 24 days since this young man was lost. So you mean to tell me that now all of a sudden law enforcement has these videos and all this stuff of Nolan on the island? This shit could have been cleared up when his body was found, or when they had the search to look for him. The people in Mississippi didn't know that people were looking for him, or they had videos of him. Crump been asking for these videos and stuff like that since he came out with the family. I think July 6th or 7th, the 7th. So nobody actually turned in these type of videos from then. But just now is law enforcement saying that they have these eyewitness testimonies. And when I play Officer Ruckus, while he's saying that people are saying that he's lying and stuff like that, because he told everybody that those white boys didn't have, Cookie, get back down here, that those white boys didn't have anything to do with Nolan's passing. But yet, if they left on the boat that was sinking and shit like that, how the fuck they know that that shit is real? They don't have any concern for what happened to their friend, because again, y'all left him on that boat. I mean, on that island. Y'all said y'all left him on that island with that girl. The girl is denying it. So now they should be with us. Like, bitch, what the fuck happened to my friend? And out of all of the thousands of people that y'all said was on that island, only 2 people had seen him? I'm quite sure in y'all videos or photographs or whatever, it should be other identifying people that's around there that should be able to come forth and say, yeah, that I was right there, I seen them, or whatever the case may be. But yet y'all only got 2 accounts. 2 accounts. Let me jump over to TMZ real quick. And let me go. Because some of this stuff don't seem. Now, again, how do they have direct knowledge of the investigation, but yet the family saying that law enforcement don't even contact them? But y'all contacting media outlets, TMZ? But let's continue. Fair use.
That Nolan remained at the island. And in fact, with direct knowledge that there is some new video that has surfaced in the Nolan Wells case that seems to support what we were told by sources directly with direct knowledge of the investigation, that after Nolan's friends left on their boat at 4:30, that Nolan remained at the island. And in fact, there was one report that claimed that he was there as late as 6 o'clock, still on the island. This new video shows the boat that Nolan's friends were on when they left the island. This is the boat that Nolan arrived at Horn Island on July 4th.
Same friends.
Same friends. Seven people, which is what we heard them describe on the call to the tow company. And they're all on the boat there. This is as they are trying to get it started.
And there's no Nolan in sight.
Right. And the 7 people you can see in there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It could just be he's not in sight. Do we see this face here? Look at him. Do this look like they're in panic because the boat is sinking? Look how far away they are from everybody else. Y'all see that? And this came from Officer Tatum. This is his watermark on here. So what sources did you get this from? If this came from Officer Tatum. Look at this. And who was recording them? Do this look like they in distress? I'm just asking for a motherfucking friend. Because this is giving like really like cut the shits. Okay, cut the shits. Cut the shit. This is supposed to be them at the 4:30 time. Okay? When the boat was sinking. And they were making this call to dispatch for CTO. Not to what they call them, the marshals, to come out and save them, rescue them. But to CTO. Like they say, CTO must be like the AAA of the sea. And the marshals are the water police, which is going to get you there quick. Okay? They're going to come to rescue quick.
Nolan is not one of them.
And I think it's important to say, and you said it, but I want to reinforce it. That's at the beginning of the trip. So it's not as if...
this is at the end of the day. This is 4:30 in the afternoon.
I'm sorry, at the beginning of the trip home. So that it's not like the boat's in the middle of the water and that something may...
Look at their eyes as well. Like when people is trying to feed you some bullshit, it's like their eyes are all over the place. They're looking up. They're looking everywhere except directly to the camera where they're supposed to be trying to connect with their people at, so the people could feel them. They have no compassion in their voices about the situation. They don't sound compassionate. They just sound like they're making things up as they go.
Have happened in between. This is as they're leaving.
Yes, they knew that they had a problem as they were leaving. It's part of the reason they were rushing. We've heard his friend Warren describe that they were yelling at him, "Come on, get on the boat." So,
I mean, the only point I want to make it is that it's not like the boat had traveled for 10 minutes and something could have happened in the 10 minutes. It's right at Horn Island where you see this video.
Right. So,
but where that video
eventually they get the boat started.
That video is way away from everybody. So they're not there right there by everybody. They're off deep into the sea now.
And they get towed for a while, and then they end up going back to the mainland.
So this is really relevant because a lot of people think that his friends that he went with in some way are hiding something that may have happened in their presence with Nolan.
And the audio from that phone call that was made to the tow company.
See there, even in this picture, you see boats directly by them. You see boats directly by them. But in the other part, the boats are nowhere near them. So who's taking a video of them right close to them where they can picture them, but instead of helping them, they are recording them? And if you're on a sinking boat that's even being towed, why are you guys recording anything? Because Warren said that people keep their phones and stuff on the boat and they don't have them in the water. So I will also assume that if you're on a boat that's sinking, or a boat you're trying to help somebody rescue some people that's sinking, you don't have time to record them.
Certainly added to that made people, because some people think they hear a reference to Nolan and they think they hear a reference to him being.
No, you can't tell people what the fuck they think they hear. They heard what they heard.
Dead.
But he's not on that boat.
But he's not from this video. At this point, when this video is shot,
y'all don't see him on,
which is consistent with what we had
y'all don't see him on the boat.
heard.
And then we also know that the police have spoken to people and have either video or photos that show that Nolan was still on Horn Island after 4:30. Now, I've been saying all along, the main thing is, if his friends leave at 4:30, who were the people who were with Nolan after that? Because they were going to have the answer.
That's right. And there were a lot of people on the island.
A lot of
people.
people
It was the 4th
there.
of July.
There was the girl named Katie.
So why is it that just now, 24 days after he went missing, did these two videos or pictures or whatever surface of him being on the island after 4:30?
Who, you know, we heard Nolan's mom say that she spoke to Katie, but Katie said that she saw Nolan, but sort of a high bye.
Warren them said that the last time they seen him was at 3 o'clock. But again, they departed at 4:30. So if you only see him at 3 o'clock, why would you be telling him to get on the boat because the boat was sinking at 3 o'clock when y'all said the boat just was leaving y'all just left at 4:30 because the boat was sinking? So again, their stories don't match up still.
In passing thing. Now, that's not how their friend Warren described it, but if it's not Katie, there were other people who were there.
There were a lot of people.
And so who is going to the police? We now know from a document from the Department of Marine Resources in Mississippi. This was a document, ABC News obtained this, but it shows what they told searchers when they were going out searching for Nolan. And there were witnesses who described Nolan. So now we know there were definitely people who saw him and said that they described him as having a lot of alcohol that day.
He was drinking heavily.
Heavy alcohol intake that day. Now, I don't know.
This is pathetic. That's why they two sitting here looking like two fucking hound dogs. Because they sitting here lying. So again, let's say he was drinking heavily that day. He's only 18. So when y'all about to start making arrests for people underage drinking, all these people, they nobody know what the fuck happened to him, but they know that he was drinking so much. That's what they had to say about him.
How much? I understand that could be relevant depending on when we find out from the coroner.
And if you drinking, you're not watching nobody else alcohol intake. Ain't y'all having a party? Ain't y'all partying hard and all this shit? So how the fuck all these people now got all this recollection of him drinking so heavily?
How he actually died. So it could be relevant there. I don't think it's not a big newsflash to me. We spoke to a friend who was out there. He told us that the kids were drinking.
Well, but
we've heard multiple. And also, I think it's 4th of July.
But there's a difference.
What are 18 and 19-year-olds doing on an island?
They're drinking.
They're not supposed to be drinking. Isn't underage drinking still a damn crime? Especially if it's an adult around supplying it that's over 21 or older.
Heavily. But they hadn't used the word heavily until now. And look, the reality of the word heavily is that if somebody falls overboard, that drowning is probably more of a possibility.
And also, too, if someone falls overboard, wouldn't somebody see their motherfucking ass? Like, now y'all can see him drinking heavily all this fucking time, but nobody know what the fuck happened to him.
I also think that word heavily is incredibly subjective.
It is.
So
yeah, but you know what?
Someone described to the police as heavily may not have been that big of a deal. I'm just saying it is too early to say whether or not him having alcohol, which is not, again, if you ask me, did I think Nolan was drinking that day? Of course he was. Do I think that it had anything to do with what happened to him?
And again, why do they keep showing these pictures of these boys and their fucking faces blurred out when they're actively doing interviews and all this bullshit? But y'all just showed Katie's fucking face. Why y'all didn't blur Katie's fucking face out? What it's giving me is now they about to try to pin this shit. I think, honestly, in my fucking opinion, they're going to either try to blame this shit on Katie or that Tristan boy. That Tristan boy is going to go to jail probably for lying because I think that his family is making him cover up this shit for these boys.
Just don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Nobody does.
But here's what I think. That when you say that witnesses said he was drinking heavily, the big thing that I'd like to know is, are they basing it on how many drinks they saw him consume or his conduct? And those are two very different things.
Yes.
That if somebody is just falling down drunk, that's different than saying he had 3 or 4 drinks.
Right.
And we don't know what the basis was for saying.
And I hope they charge everybody that said they seen him drinking heavily. I hope they all charged all of them too.
He was drinking
the other
heavily.
relevance of it is what time of day was that, and when was the last time someone saw him? Because there was a last time, there was someone who saw him. What did they see? And that's the whole ball of wax there. And until we hear from that person, none of us really know, and we're all speculating as to what could have happened to him. Right.
Jordan from Jackson here. As a native Mississippian, my heart aches for Nolan and the Wells family. In this audio, you can hear them screaming his name in the background. To me, that says he was already unalived when they had called the tow.
But let me stop you for a second. How do you explain then this video of them leaving Horn Island on that boat and Nolan's not even on the boat? They made the call shortly thereafter when the boat was.
But just because you don't see Nolan on that boat does not mean that he's not on the boat.
Was taking on water. And I know what you're saying because we've heard it. But if there's no video of him on the boat, how would they be saying that, 5 minutes in?
My theory is that they panicked, dumped the body, and left. That is my theory. They knew that if they called, they could make it seem like the boat was sinking. That's
because why wouldn't they want the marshals to come and help them? Why wouldn't they want the marshals to come and help them? Why wouldn't that should have been their first motherfucking call? You call the CTO people if it's something that something is not working, you safely at a secure location. I needed help. Come tow me, whatever the case may be. But if it's an emergency, like you're sinking, that's why she said, do you want me to call the marshals? Because this sounds like an emergency motherfucking situation. So miss me with this bullshit. You don't call a tow company if your car is actively on fucking fire, or you just have an accident. You don't call the tow truck to come and pick up your car. You call the police. The police gonna have somebody come tow that shit, but you had the police come to the scene immediately because you immediately need help. And that's what the marshals are gonna do. You ain't gotta pay, you ain't gotta have no membership, none of that shit. They're gonna come to the scene and help you because you're sinking, and they don't want people sinking in that fucking water.
That's what I think.
But he's not on the boat.
But he's saying that this video was shot after whatever happened to him happened. He's suggesting that whatever calamity happened to him, whatever someone did to him, happened before this video.
And I think they had another boat come and meet them. That's who's recording them. And they did this recording to try to show that everything was cool. But again, if everything was fucking cool, How is that so when you were sinking? You were sinking.
I get it, but before the boat was just leaving Horn Island when the video was taken. So where would that have happened? That's my point.
Again, you know, the police could clear this up by sharing whatever evidence it is they have of him being on the island at a certain time. It appears they're just not willing to come forward with that at this point, probably because they're in the middle of their investigation.
Lying.
So here is the video.
Lying pieces of shit. Okay, now let me get to this other Officer Ruckus video because he's a fucking mess. Let's see here.
DMs are open for apologies. I want to make sure y'all send the same DM to me, apologizing, accusing me of lying, accusing these boys of doing something wrong. I told y'all a long time ago that these boys didn't have nothing to do with it.
Who the fuck is you supposed to be? Are you the fucking officer on the fucking case, bitch? Who the fuck is you supposed to be because you told y'all? Who the fuck is y'all? And who the fuck is you? Your fucking interview not even consistent with the fucking shit that's going on in any fucking story. They ain't come up with a consistent damn story in your fucking interview with Warren. Why you talking about it's gonna be some fucking bombshells? We ain't seen one drop yet. And look how he's looking stupid, just like Harvey done was just looking stupid as fuck. And DJ Academic was looking stupid as fuck. Mighty Mouse or Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Talking about where his DM said when he wanted an apology. Apologize for these damn nuts. Get the fuck out of here. How the fuck you know what's going on or what's true or what they did? Because he said so? Again, you used to be a police officer, so you should know the inconsistencies that he was saying, and you also was a trained officer, so you should have been knowing the shit that he was doing didn't even fucking line up. Or the shit he was saying didn't line up.
With it. And y'all got it from TMZ, didn't you? The audio.
TMZ just played the shit that you sent them. Now, again, TMZ is the motherfucking damn law, the investigators too. Because other people been doing investigations too and came up with quite the contrary. And it also seems like you're not concerned about what happened to this motherfucking boy, which should be what your fucking concern is. You concerned about making some type of alibi or excuses for his alleged fucking friends. If they didn't do it, then what the fuck happened to Nolan? Do some interviews about that shit, bitch ass motherfucker.
It came from TMZ, wasn't it? Now go back and look at TMZ and show that they've had two people that have been verified that they've seen Nolan Wells.
Verified by who?
After the call, after the boys had already left the island. And people had saw Nolan alive. So it's impossible that y'all then heard something on that audio indicating that Nolan or some type of confession that they killed Nolan. I told y'all, but y'all want these white boys to be guilty so bad. Y'all want to concoct and hear stuff that ain't there. I listened to that whole video and I didn't hear none of that stuff y'all said. And
you didn't hear it. Other people did. So what, they don't have to believe their motherfucking ears because you didn't fucking hear it? You hear what the fuck you want to hear. Did you hear when the boy said the last time he seen Nolan was at 3 and immediately followed up that they was trying to make him leave with them at 4:30? So was they doing that by satellite?
I waited and the information is out. Go ahead and send your apology. We already verified. Warren already said it. Y'all were wrong. Hey, my DMs are open for apologies. I want to make sure y'all send this.
Them motherfuckers gonna remain open. They eating his ass up now. Look at Brownie, child. Y'all look at Brownie. So eyewitnesses can't be mistaken, mix two people up, or straight up lie like we've seen done from all the people exonerated after being identified, because all of those thousands of people Warren claimed make a point to go to Horn Island on the 4th, all knew Nolan, that when y'all asked, people were like, oh yeah, I saw him. Not to mention the radio. 2 of the thousands of per Warren's account isn't great either. So just again, per Brownie point, 2 people out of all the thousands of people on the island, y'all done only came up with 2 motherfuckers that seen them. If they seen them, then that means now they need to be locked the fuck up, because they're the last people to see his ass alive. So where the fuck was he at? What happened to him? This is what I just said. I didn't even listen to this. Bro, I'm saying this respectfully because perception matters. And that's true. He could have heard the shit and not, hear whatever. But it seems like, again, people hear what they want to hear or whatever they, might think it, whatever the case may be. Okay. Whether you believe those boys are innocent or not, from the outside, it looks like you're putting more energy into defending them than advocating for Nolan. And that's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know you personally, but I've seen your videos. I understand that you may genuinely be seeking the truth or justice, but you had to know this approach would bring backlash. If you have kids, ask yourself how you feel if someone came this same level of energy while your child was at the center of a situation like this. And if it turns out even one of those boys was involved, people aren't going to forget the position you took, fair or not. That's how public perception works. I'm not telling you what to believe, just encouraging you to think carefully about your message is being received, how your message is being received, and what legacy you want to leave. One love, Black love, justice for Nolan. That's a great comment. I like that comment. How can I like this comment? If delusional was a video. Again, he don't have no passion in his, voice tone, nothing. He won't look directly at the camera and just talk. He's looking all around and all that type of stuff. Is not giving genuine because he knows he's full of shit. I think Harvey and them know that they're full of shit. He's so hell-bent on these guys being innocent. I wonder why. Who he paid? Was he paid? Because ain't no way in hell. He is really out of touch. I bet if it were his son, Nolan, he feel the same? Would he feel the same? That's probably what I mean. Would he feel the same? He will want answers. Whether they are innocent or not, I believe they are not. They know more than what they are leading people to believe. And that in itself says they're guilty. Again, they got to be guilty or something, because this is just not, something that, like, their stories just don't match up. And that's just the reality of it. Again, if they are not guilty, they damn sure look guilty. And just to be honest, I don't really believe that they did it on purpose. I think they were doing something and something happened, whether they slipped his ass something and they wanted to laugh and giggle and hee and watch him be high and drunk or whatever. And this shit went left and turned left, and they had to call their parents to tell, like, what the fuck? And I think they called that grandfather, and that grandfather probably was like, y'all can't let that motherfucker leave off that bitch alive. Like, y'all cannot let him leave alive, because he's gonna tell people what y'all did to him. Like, what the fuck did y'all stupid motherfuckers give him? I think that's what it was. That's my honest opinion. That's just what I believe. People need to unfollow TMZ since they want to play in our face, putting out false info. Exactly. He's definitely getting paid. You did a great job with interviewing them because everything they said will be held against them. Thank you, sir. Exactly. Because the shit, again, just a simple point that I keep bringing up. The motherfucker said literally the last time he seen Nolan was at 3:00 p.m. Who was it? Maybe Tisa was like, since, you know, Warren is saying nobody have their phones out, their phones are on the boat and all da. How did you know what time it was? How do you know it was 3:00 on the dot? How did you know it was 3:00? Because they not saying 3 something, around 3-ish. It was 3:00. They sent him at 3:00. He was with the girl at 3:00. Why were you looking at your phone to see what time it was when Nolan was hooked up with the girl? But then yet at 4:30, you witnessed and have video of your buddy telling him to get on the boat. I don't know, y'all. This shit just seems out of touch. Some line is going on. We own the case. And I just can't wait until we can play this.
Gotcha, you bitches.
Welcome to Tater Tot Lane, come ride with me. Hot tea, real talk, yeah, that's the key. So tune in. Let's talk about it.